In the headlines, Ekiti Governor-elect Oyebanji meets President Buhari, says APC didn't buy votes during governorship poll. Court stops INEC from ending voter registration June 30th. Zamfara police neutralize bandits, recover AK-47 rifle ammunition. Away from Nigeria, Libya rival factions fail to reach deal in election talks. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. Beginning with political matters, the governor-elect of Ekiti State, Abiodun Oyebanji, has faulted the allegation of vote buying against the All Progressives Congress in the just concluded governorship election in the state. He stressed that neither he nor the ruling party was involved in vote buying as alleged, saying that they canvassed for votes from the electorate which led to their victory at the poll. Oyebanji stated this on Monday while briefing State House correspondents shortly after he met with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. He insisted that he did not witness any vote buying in the polling unit where he voted, adding that he won the poll based on his previous performance as the secretary to the state government in the state. The APC national chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, who accompanied the governor-elect alongside some governors to meet the president, said that the allegation of vote buying was being sponsored by aggrieved persons who lost at the poll.
Mr. President, an handshake would be very good.
I can say that.
And one more.
No, Chairman, you join?
An aspirant on the platform of the All Progressives Congress in the just concluded Nasarawa West senatorial primary election, Labaran Magaji, has urged the National Working Committee of the party to set up a special committee to investigate the 125 fake delegates from the zone. Magaji made the appeal in an interview with journalists shortly after he was received by his teeming supporters in Nasarawa Total local government area. He said that the primary was marred by irregularities, adding that they have filed a petition before the Federal High Court in Abuja.
I polled 114 votes, while my opponent was alleged to have polled 179 votes. Now, ideally, whether wrongly or rightly, he was a candidate. Soon after the election, facts emerged that touches on the credibility of the process, which we reviewed it and we discovered that there was a very, very fundamental controversy surrounding the process. One was that the delegates for Kefi and Nasarawa local government were not the delegates that were voted during the congresses for the purposes of the election which took place. And what we did was immediately file an appeal to the body statutorily established by the National Working Committee to so do, which was equally in line with the spirit of the Electoral Act, which and of course the party constitution, which suggests that for any party member who has grievance must exhaust the internal mechanism of the party.
Meanwhile, the Federal High Court in Abuja has stopped the Independent National Electoral Commission from ending voter registration on 30th of June 2022. Justice Mobolaji Olajunwa on Monday granted an order of interim injunction following the hearing of an argument on a motion exported by Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project. SERAV and 185 concerned Nigerians had early this month filed the lawsuit against INEC, asking the court to declare unconstitutional, illegal and incompatible with international standards the failure of the electoral body to extend the deadline for voter registration to allow eligible Nigerians to exercise their rights. In the suit, Serap had asked the court for an order restraining INEC, its agents, privies, assigns, or any other person claiming through it from discontinuing the voters' registration exercise from the 30th of June 2022 or any other date pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. The suit is adjourned to the 29th of June 2022 for the hearing of the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. Kaduna State Government has announced the dismissal of 2,357 teachers, including the national president of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Audu Amba, for failing or refusing to sit for the competency test organized by the State Universal Basic Education Board. Katsubeb said that the board conducted a competency test for over 30,000 teachers in December 2021, adding that 2,192 primary school teachers, including the NUT national president, had been dismissed for refusing to sit for the competency test. Reacting, chairman of the NUT, Kaduna State, Ibrahim Dalhatu, said that the competency test and dismissal of the teachers are illegal. Dalhatu said that they had secured a court order restraining the board from conducting the competency test, noting that it conducted the test without recourse to the rule of law. And on security matters, the Zamfara State Police Command on Monday said its operatives killed one bandit during a gun duel in Sarang, Gamawa and Ungwaramata villages of Gumi local government area of the state. In a statement, the police public relations officer in the state, Muhammad Shehu, said other bandits fled to the forest. He said police tactical operatives deployed along Gumi Bukuyum axis received a distress call on Sunday that armed bandits on motorcycles invaded the villages with the intent to kill and abduct members of the communities. At least 3 persons have been killed, with several others injured in an attack on Olu, Imo State. The police public relations officer in the state, Michael Abatam, confirmed the attack via a statement issued on Sunday in Owerri, the state capital. He said that the command received a distress call that gunmen who were operating in a red Toyota Sienna vehicle without a registration number sped off to Mwebele, Okporo community in Olu. Still on security matters, gunmen have attacked Zira, a village in Toro local government area of Bauchi State, and abducted the village head, Yahaya Saleh Abubakar, and his son, Habibu Saleh. Confirming the incident, Bauchi State Police spokesperson SP Muhammad Ahmed Wakil said that the gunmen attacked the village, which is under Rishi Police Division, a border village with Plateau State, around 2 a.m. Saturday night. Wakil said that the Commissioner of Police, Umar Mamman Sanda, had directed the divisional police officer in the area to rescue the abducted victims unhurt. He urged the public to remain calm and go about their normal business and report any suspicious activities. He said police are doing everything possible to ensure security of life and property. The abduction came 5 days after gunmen attacked Jimari communities in Al-Galeri local government area, killing 4 people and injuring 3. The district head of Lame, Alhaji Aliyu Yakubu Lame, said that the abductors had yet to contact families. Hoodlums attacked the press crew attached to the Lagos State Governor on Sunday. The assault took place around Adeniji, Adele, after journalists left the palace of Oba of Lagos, which Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, also visited. An eyewitness, one of the journalists who was on the bus, said that the road was blocked by many hoodlums who pelted them with stones and dangerous items. He said that the bus windshield and side windows were all broken and some journalists injured. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up shortly. How technology impacts on newspaper vending. Details and more after the break. Join us again.
Times have passed, and with it so many things that once were our visual delights. Technological advancement has brought about tremendous changes in the way and manner media deliver content to its audience.
As it continues to reposition itself to serve you much better, Media Trust Limited is rebranding its logo and visual identity to reflect our current vision and futuristic drive.
We have spread our tentacles beyond the pages of the newspaper to the digital space. The new logos and visual identities reflect the new scope of our multimedia reach.
Even with this development, however, we will continue to remain with you as we have always remained, committed to our founding philosophy, which is based on trust, integrity, openness, and courage.
The new logo, which is a marriage of a revolving globe and a mobile device, signifies the unlimited reach of our content on the digital space.
We are always the backbone of operations as we do our best to deliver content that suits your needs.
When you see a new trust title or platform in the next few days, therefore, do not be alarmed.
We remain committed to you and will continue to serve you through fair and responsible journalism.
Thanks for staying. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Here's a reminder of our top stories. Ekiti Governor-elect Oyebanji meets President Buhari, says APC didn't buy votes during governorship poll. Court stops INEC from ending voter registration June 30th. And in other news, a total of 40 children from the Durumi IDP camp in Abuja have completed training on the acquisition of various skills to improve their livelihood. The training was organized by Pathfinder International and implemented under its Empowered Choices project. Sagir Ibrahim reports.
As part of the implementation of its Empowered Choices project, Pathfinder International, in collaboration with the Federal Capital Territory Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, has graduated the first set of 40 children from the Durumi IDP camp on various skills.
This intervention is called Empowered Choices. And why this intervention? If children, in this case children, do not have the information to make decisions about their lives, if they are not empowered with information and with knowledge, they will not be able to be well informed and to take decisions that will positively impact on their lives in the future.
The Director General of FEMA, Abbas Idris, also called on IDPs to take advantage of the administration's initiatives for out-of-school children to enroll more IDPs in school.
That there is existing which we have been enrolling, which we have enrolled 1,124 already. So I am urging those that are not really, that have not keyed in, if there are parents here that their children are not going to school, they should key into the program so that we enroll them into the public school. The impact of this, skills acquisition, especially for these young ones, is very important to their lives. And not only because they are children of the displaced parents, but they even for their own future life.
The Empowered Choices project focused on training the children on different skills ranging from shoemaking, soap making, reusable sanitary pad making, hygiene, among others.
Now, newspaper vending is an old business which has been a source of living for many around the globe and in Nigeria. However, the technological advancement of the 21st century has adversely affected the business, losing customers to online newspaper platforms. Ibrahim Ismail takes a look at the struggles some newspaper vendors go through to remain in business despite all odds. The report.
60-year-old Balamai Jarida has been a newspaper vendor since 1980. When he was a teenager, his dream was to become a journalist. Even though his dream was not realized, Bala found solace in newspaper vending. When I was a kid in primary school, they used to ask us in class about what we want to become in the future. Some will choose farming, but I said I want to be a journalist. They call me Balamai Jarida. Since then, I became a vendor. He said despite the threat to the newspaper vending by the digital technology, he still makes fortune in the business. The business has some setbacks. In Gombe, I used to receive 500 copies of Daily Trust newspaper daily. I distribute to vendors and agents in Iliri, Kaltungo, Kumo and Nashaka. But due to the mobile technology, sales have dropped. The companies also cut the supply. Now I only receive 30, 35 to 40 copies.
Yanzu duka abin da nake samu baya wuce kwafi 30, 35, 40. Alhamdulillah.
Thanks to Allah, I achieved a lot and I still make fortunes. I fend for myself, married second and third wife, bought farm and piece of land. I am still in the business.
Aure na farko an mana gida ladan noma amma nayi na ɗaya da na biyu duk a cikin jarida. Na sayi gona kuma na sayi fili har yanzu duk a cikin jarida. Ko da yace ban gina filin ba.
Although technology poses a threat, but we still make progress.
Even
with the drop in revenue generation in newspaper vending, Balamai Jarida is very optimistic the job will continue to put food on the table. He believes that newspapers have more merits than online publications, calling on stakeholders to save their businesses from extinction. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail, reporting for Trust TV.
The Director General of the Bulgarian news agency, BTA, Kirill Valchev, has urged Nigerian journalists to continue upholding the ethics of objective and truthful reportage in the discharge of their duty. The DG, who said this in Abuja, maintained that being objective is not only a common challenge in Africa alone, but one that the world at large is contending with.
This is my advice to Nigerian journalists: just say the truth. Without evaluation, just say what's happened. Who made something, where, when, how. The answers of this question are absolutely enough. Actually, it's not only Africa's challenge. We have to learn in this world how to be different kind of media, because you can see the lie is absolutely free everywhere in social media. We have to do something to make the truth free, to make more access to the truth. And this is a challenge not only for Africa's media. This is for media all over the world. There are a lot of global reasons, because you are economy number one in Africa. You are culture number one in West Africa. You have a lot of resources, gas, petrol. You are the most populated country in Africa, and maybe after 100 years you will be number 2 or number 1. This is a lot of reasons, but the main reason is our bilateral connections from the past. Because I saw your central bank, your foreign ministry in Lagos Eco Hotel, the symbolic building. The symbol of the buildings in Nigeria, in Lagos, is the National Theater. This is Bulgarian-built buildings. I met here actually Nigerian students, former Nigerian students in Bulgaria, alumni, and they speak Bulgarian like me. They are almost Bulgarians. We have a lot of reasons to work together.
As the rising price of cooking gas continues eating deep into people's earnings, many residents in Kano are switching to using wood and charcoal to prepare their meals. In this report, Trust TV's Idris Jibrin examines the implications of the price increase on Kano residents and its impact on the environment. The report.
It's been 10 years since Kamali Yakubu switched from firewood and charcoal to cooking gas to prepare his meals. He says it's faster, easier and healthier. But with the higher prices eating deep into his earnings, he's wondering if that is a wise move. Honestly, people are suffering now, and the use of cooking gas has slowed down because people have resorted to using wood and charcoal. The rising cost of gas for cooking has pushed many in Kano to resort to using wood and charcoal. Here at the local charcoal market in Sharaɗa, new consignment arrives. Business is booming. One bag of charcoal is now sold at 2,700 naira. Half bag is 1,350 naira. And sometimes I used to supply 400 to 700 bags of charcoal. To make those 500 bags, dozens of trees must have been cut down, effectively reversing gains made in protecting trees in a country where over 10 million are cut down every year. We used to bring this wood from Bauchi, Kaduna, Sokoto and Zamfara. And it's not always we cut down trees, but most at times we go deep into the forest to cut down trees and bring it here. Cooking gas in Nigeria rose by 60% in 2020, exceeding 1 million metric tons. Sales grew further last year, but then slowed down due to reduction in supply. The country now has to import gas at higher prices.
To 70% of the LPG consumed in Nigeria is being imported. And the price of dollar now is almost 600 naira plus at the parallel market or the black market. And it is very difficult to source dollar from the CBN. So most of the imports of LPG are done through the parallel market. And sometimes, even if you have the naira, to get the dollar to be able to import is also a big challenge. So apart from the international price that has gone up, we also have a disadvantage in Nigeria because the rate of conversion between naira to dollar has gone up. It's almost 600 plus. And 99% of the imports is done through the parallel market, not through the central bank.
Although expert believes that increasing people's use of cooking gas will save millions of trees and the environment, but the high cost of liquefied petroleum gas will make that harder to achieve, especially when millions of trees are cut down daily to produce wood as much as this. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has suspended the issuance of licenses to applicants on the free trade zones at the airports until conflict in the regulatory framework between it and the Nigerian Export Processing Zones Authority are resolved. Managing Director, FAN, Captain Rabiu Yadudu, who gave their suspension notice to intending free trade zone applicants, said at the Lagos airport alone there are 2 free trade zone operators, while additional 2 companies have applied. He explained that the 5 international airports in the country have been designated as free trade zones and warned that if not well regulated, it might be a big challenge for the country in the future. And away from Nigeria, the United Nations said on Monday that rival Libyan factions have failed to reach an agreement after wrapping up a 3rd round of UN-mediated talks in Egypt, further complicating international efforts to find a way out of the country's decade-old chaos. According to the United Nations Special Advisor on Libya, Stephanie Williams, legislators from Libya's East-based parliament and the High Council of State based in the capital, Tripoli, in the country's west, concluded their final round of negotiations on constitutional amendments for elections late on Sunday in Cairo without a breakthrough. Williams called on Parliament Speaker Aguila Saleh and the influential and head of the Tripoli-based council, Khalid Al-Meshri, to convene within 10 days to try and bridge the gaps between the 2 sides. The talks, which started on June 12, seeks to establish a constitutional framework for elections in Libya, but the 2 sides failed to agree on the measures governing the transitional period leading to the vote. And finally, in sports news, swimming's world governing body, FINA, has voted to stop transgender athletes from competing in women's elite races if they have gone through any part of the process of male puberty. FINA will also aim to establish an open category at competitions for swimmers whose gender identity is different than their birth sex. The new policy, which was passed with 71% of the vote from 152 FINA members, was described as only a first step towards full inclusion for transgender athletes. The 34-page policy document says that male to female transgender athletes could compete in the women's category, but only provided they have not experienced any part of male puberty beyond TENA stage 2, which marks the start of physical development, or before age 12, whichever is later. The decision was made during an extraordinary General Congress at the ongoing World Championships in Budapest. And that's a wrap on Trust News Update. Connect with us via all social media platforms and also subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching.